Pedro is a young man of a generous heart, sincere and dedicated to Brazil's cause. He does not hesitate to sacrifice himself for what he believes is just. This is who we'll get to know in this video, Dom Pedro I, a man with an unwavering devotion to the land of Brazil and its people, a ruler who stood at the crossroads of history and chose to carve out a nation's destiny, even at great personal cost. The year is 1798, and Pedro de Alcântara is born in Lisbon, Portugal, to King João VI and Queen Carlota Joaquina. Raised in the royal court, Pedro grows into a charismatic and spirited young man, fond of music, horseback riding and adventure. His destiny changes abruptly in 1807, when Napoleon's armies invade Portugal. The royal family flees to Brazil, making Rio de Janeiro the seat of the Portuguese Empire. Pedro's formative years are then spent in Brazil, a land of vast resources, stark inequalities, and burgeoning aspirations for independence. When the Portuguese court returns to Lisbon in 1821, Pedro remains behind as regent, tasked with governing a colony on the brink of revolution. The tension between Brazil and Portugal intensifies as Lisbon seeks to reassert control and demand the immediate return of Pedro to Portugal. Yet, Pedro's sympathies lie with Brazil. If it is for the good of all and the happiness of the nation, he famously declares, I am ready. Tell the people that I will stay. This pivotal moment, known as the Dia do Fico, or Day of the Stay, cements his place as a leader of the independence movement. On September 7, 1822, near the banks of the Ipiranga River, Pedro draws his sword and proclaims, "Independence or death!" With this bold declaration, Brazil separates from Portugal and Pedro is crowned Emperor Dom Pedro I of Brazil. His reign ushers in a new era, but one fraught with challenges. Pedro's rule is marked by his impetuous nature and deep commitment to his vision for Brazil. He drafts the nation's first constitution in 1824, balancing imperial authority with limited popular representation. Yet his leadership is divisive. Critics accuse him of favoring Portuguese interests, and his temperamental personality earns him both admirers and detractors. Internationally, Pedro garners respect for his diplomatic acumen. Under his leadership, Brazil secures recognition of its independence from major powers like the United Kingdom. However, his intervention in the Cisplatin War with Argentina results in the loss of modern-day Uruguay, a setback that undermines his popularity. Pedro's personal life also fuels controversy. His tumultuous marriage to Empress Maria Leopoldina of Austria ends in tragedy as Leopoldina dies under circumstances that spark public outrage, with many saying that Pedro just let her die without seeking medical attention after falling ill. Her death, coupled with Pedro's public affair with Domitila de Castro, the Marquise of Santos, further erodes his standing among Brazilians. By 1831, the political and social pressures become insurmountable. Facing mounting opposition and widespread unrest, Pedro abdicates in favor of his 5-year-old son, who will be known as Dom Pedro II. Here is my abdication. I wish you to be happy. I retire to Europe and leave a country that I loved and that I still love. With these words, Pedro departs for Europe, leaving behind the empire he helped create. Returning to Portugal, Pedro I reclaims his title as Duke of Braganza and wages a successful campaign to secure the Portuguese throne for his daughter, Maria II, against his absolutist brother Miguel. Despite his diminished health, Pedro fights with the same fiery determination that once won Brazil's independence. It's the year 1834 when he dies at the age of 35, succumbing to tuberculosis. His final wish is poignant: that his heart be buried in the Portuguese city of Porto, while his body remains in Brazil, a testament to his love for both nations. Dom Pedro's legacy is one of contradiction and complexity. He was a man of immense courage and vision, but also of deep flaws and impulsiveness. His reign set the foundation for Brazil's identity as an independent nation, and his actions, however controversial, were driven by a singular devotion to freedom. It is said that when Pedro proclaimed independence, his sword gleamed in the sunlight. Amigos, as cortes portuguesas querem escravizar-nos e perseguir-nos. De hoje em diante, nossas relações estão quebradas. Nenhum laço nos une mais. Tirem suas brazadeiras, soldados. Viva a independência, a liberdade e a separação do Brasil. Pelo meu sangue, pela minha honra, pelo meu Deus, eu juro dar ao Brasil a liberdade. Brasileiros, a nossa divisa de hoje em diante será independência ou morte.